All right, guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm happy to be with you again, and thank you so much for watching. This particular video, I've been thinking a lot before I decided to make it because because it's one of those videos dzinonetsa kuexplaina kana kuti dzinonetsa kutaura because zvinorema. You know, I've wanted to speak about this for a very long time. But some topics, you don't just rush them. You need silence first. You need time. You need time to let the words mature. Because when we talk about home sometimes, guys, we're not talking about a place. We're talking about the people who make it feel like it is home. And sometimes the same people the very same people that make it feel like home are the kind of people who will make it also hurt. So I wanted to talk about how I see it. And I see it as if family has three faces in every Zimbabwean. And those of you, of course, in the diaspora will relate to this. You do understand that sometimes you carry this suitcase. When a bag right now, but I'm not going to guys. You are taking expectations in that bag. Makava kunoku Zimbabwe mshtakuvaka something. And in that process, we build categories in our hearts, you see. Or rather, you build categories in your hearts. You see, guys, there are three kind of relatives that I want to talk about today. The first one, the givers. They are the ones who understand you. They know your journey. They know your sacrifices. When you ask for help, even from thousands of miles away, they will walk. They make phone calls. They give you truth, not drama. They ask not for few money. Expect a thank you in dollars. They just help you because they care. You just trust them with your peace. They are the people who remind you that while going home is actually worth it. Then there's the second type. Sympathizers. They love you. But life has humbled them. They have little, yet they have hearts. When you can't send money, they still send you prayers. They understand that you too, you get tired out there. But here's the tricky part. If you help them too much with money, they stop helping themselves. You don't mean to enable them. But sometimes kindness becomes such a crutch, so you keep a relationship warm, but distant. But because love without boundaries becomes a burden sometimes. Now, then there's the third type of relative. Now, this one now, I would call them the pretenders. These are, this is where many of us lose our peace. These are the ones who have perfected emotional manipulation. They know your heart and they use you, and they use it as an ATM. Sick, mother nasi, hospital bill mangwana, funeral mangwana. Next week, sometimes they even take pictures in hospitals. just to make the story believable. I'm not making up this stuff, guys. There are people who have turned pain into performance. You send the money, they buy VIP tickets to a Japreza concert. You are working 40-hour shifts. And kuno kwananga achisa kutamba uri kunzwe ere. Aenda kushow, maba, pepe. Vanenge vachisekerera kubva vakabata mari yese yaunenge wakatumira. Not making this up. Now, why they don't want you to succeed, these people? I want to go a little deeper and talk about why these very same people, they don't want you to succeed. Let's go deeper then. Why did this happen? Why does success become a threat in your own community? It's not always evil. Sometimes it's envy disguised as entitlement. Sometimes it's culture that never learned to celebrate without comparison. We are raised in scarcity, you could say. So when someone wins, others feel like there is less left for them. And in Zimbabwe, when one man builds a house, the Mazwano village, they don't ask Kuti, how did he do it? No. They actually ask Kuti, akaona poko mari kuti avake. Saka pamwe akaromba. Maibata nyaya yacho. We use success because it reminds us of our own stagnation. And so instead of learning from it, we try to pull it down. The crab in a bucket story all over again, you know? But you guys in the diaspora, I call you the diaspora generation. You must understand this. Home is still home, but home is also wounded. Our people here have been through decades of survival. They have seen promises fail, leaders in politics failing them, even church leaders betray them. Their dreams collapse. So when you come back with clean sneakers and a British accent and they don't always see you working hard out there. They see their pain reflected back at them. Now, there is something deeper at play here, and that's what I call psychological displacement. Many relatives project their own unfulfilled dreams onto you. They want you to win, but not too much. They want your help, but not your advice. They love you, but not the way you have changed. It's like you become a walking reminder of what could have been. This is why the most dangerous thing about success isn't the work it takes. It's the relationships it tastes. So what do we do then? We learn to give without losing ourselves in the process. We learn to help without being used. We learn that sometimes love requires distance. Not because we stopped caring, but because we started healing. If you have lived abroad, you understand what I'm talking about. If you've lived abroad, you will know this tension between guilt and gratitude, between helping home and building your own. Every time you say no, then you are arrogant to them. Every time you say yes, then you are emptying your soul a little more. But maturity, my brother, my sister, is learning to say, I love you, but I also love myself. That is not selfishness. That is sustainability. People must understand that you are not banks. You are bridges. You are not there to fund my lifestyle evano at home here. You are there to inspire the mindsets of your relatives back home. Still, I don't want you to lose faith in home. There are millions of good people here. The auntie who pray for you daily, the brother who will fix your bowl, before you even send money, the friend who keeps you grounded. These are the people who remind you that goodness still exists in Zimbabwe, quietly, faithfully, like the morning sun, you know very well that it's going to rise. But to protect this goodness, you must call out manipulation for what it is. You must stop glorifying greed disguised as poverty. You must stop funding laziness because of guilt. You must start building relationships that empower and not exhaust you. So to you watching this, whether you are in London, Johannesburg, or even in Harare, remember this, not everyone who claps for you is happy for you. But that's okay. The goal is not to be liked. The goal is to be authentic. You don't owe anyone your peace to prove the success. And one day, when they finally see that your success was never meant to shame them, but to show them what is possible, maybe home will learn to love you again. And this is the truth when home turns against you. Until we meet again in another video, guys. Bye-bye.